The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
A young rabbi and his wife were on a mission somewhere in Chutz. They come back to their home after a few months of not being in Eretz Yisrael, which is their home, and they come back. They've got their suitcases from being away, and they go over to one of these Sherut, the Nesha that's standing outside the airport, in Ben Gurion Airport, and they tell the driver where they're going. And the dispatcher there says, okay, go to that Sherut over there, he'll take you to your destination, he'll take you to your apartment. They go over there, they lug the suitcase, they start putting it in, and the driver says, where are you going? And they start explaining to where their apartment is, where they live, and the driver says, no, I'm not going there. I'm not going there, go get another one, go find someone else that will take you there, it's not my direction. So they go, I don't know what to do now. They take out the suitcases again, step it back to the dispatcher. The dispatcher, he says, what's going on? Why are you back? He says, well, he's not going. No, you've got no choice. You're going to have to go. But this is Israel. Go back, no problem. Go back, it's fine. It's fine. He'll take you there. Fine. So they go back to the shira. They put it on. They sit there. They figure, you know what? They're going to give the driver no choice, and he's going to have to go there. Fine. So there they are sitting there, and a young bacha from Barcelona. He had just flown in a couple of days. His parents were not well. He was there on vacation, whatever. And he comes and sits next to this young rabbi. And he sees the young rabbi. He says, Rabbi, tell me about Torah. Right? Tell me something. Tell me a piece of Torah. Tell me something. So the rabbi starts telling him how in Eretz Yisrael, it's hashgacha pratis, and the Rebbeinu Shalom looks at Eretz Yisrael much more than anywhere else in the world. And you can see the revelation of Hashem, and he's going over to a whole thing. And this boy, who's obviously a little bit bitter, says, Rabbi, I disagree with everything you're saying. He says, statistically, if you go through it, there are more people that die here in Eretz Yisrael, which is a tiny country compared to anywhere else in the world. You know, how can you say there's hashgacha pratis? How can you say that Hashem is running the world over here? In fact, I'll tell you, my best friend got killed in a terrorist attack over here, and upset about it. How can you come along with your old Torah about hashgacha pratis? And this rabbi didn't know what to say. This poor boy, he's obviously traumatized. Nebuch, his friend, was killed in a terrorist attack. He's not happy about it, and he's bearing a grudge, and he's upset with Hashem. He's upset with Eretz Yisrael. It's not something he's happy with. So the rabbi says, I want to tell you a story. He says, a number of years ago, my wife went to be menachem ovel by a young boy that was unfortunately killed in a terrorist attack also. And she went to be menachem ovel. The parents had some connection there. And they went to be menachem ovel. And the older brother of the victim, of the boy that was killed, the older brother was talking in the shiva about everything that went on the day that his brother died. And he said like this. He said, on the day that my brother died, I was in a bus, and I was traveling up somewhere north in Eretz Yisrael, and as you do, you fall asleep on the bus, you get a bit of a sleep, and I fell asleep. And my younger brother, the one that was killed, came to me in a dream, dressed fully in white. And he says to me, my dear brother, I'm just letting you know that I'm about to leave the world, and I want you to be there for Ima, I want you to be there for mother. She needs your help, she needs your support, and I want you to know that I'm going to come back and return to the world as a butterfly for the 7 days of Shiva. And that's what it's going to be. All of a sudden the bus stops, he wakes up and he's shocked. What a dream, what does it mean, what's the message? Somebody there asked to put on the news. They put on the news and they hear there was a terrible terrorist attack in Yerushalayim, and there are a number of casualties. He gets very, very nervous. He hears that, he gets nervous. He calls his mother and he says, Ma, is everything okay? She said, I'm on the way to the hospital, I got a terrible call, I don't know what's going to be, call me back. And he found out the terrible news. And he said, during the Shiva, a butterfly entered through a window, perched itself on one of the paintings that was in the room where they were sitting Shiva, and for 7 days sat there without moving. And the last moment of the Shiva, the butterfly ran up the stairway into the bed where the boy used to sleep for a moment, went out the window, was never seen again. And he said, this is the rabbi telling over the story about what his wife heard by the Shiva. And he said, I just want to show you that, isn't that an amazing story? Hashgacha pratis, isn't that amazing? He had a dream, and the boy is crying. And the rabbi said, I understand it was an emotional story, but you're crying, He said, wow, that boy was the boy that I'm talking about. That was my best friend. And the story I never heard, the follow-up I never heard, and I was so angry. How can Hashem do this, Eretz Yisrael and everything? And now I hear that all of that happened, I'm so comforted. And the fact that they were sitting on next to each other, and that Sherut, when they were thrown out, and went back to the same Sherut, which was all hashgacha min hashamayim, is an unbelievable, amazing act of hashgacha pratis. And it's something that's so important.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org